Hi guys, Roxanne here from Tiny Home Living. I didn't do any video yesterday. I was not really lazy. I was in the kitchen all day and Chris was out working on digging holes for the fence around the garden to keep the devil chickens out. And I was in the kitchen trying to get some vegetables blanched and in the freezer. So kind of boring stuff, so it's not like I'm gonna do a lot of video of me blanching vegetables. Pretty much anybody knows how to do that. So, but Chris has made some progress in the tiny house, so I want to take you out and show you that. We'll go check on the ugly little babies out back, those chickens, and I just want to ask you before we do that to like and subscribe, hit that notification bell, and share this video with your family and friends. I really appreciate it. And I thought I would update you on the eggs too. We had 9 eggs yesterday. That was the first day of 9, and we've actually locked the chickens in the chicken run for the last couple of days while Chris is working on the fence, because they are you just cannot keep them out of the garden. They're eating the cucumbers and the zucchinis and the squash, and they've destroyed my lettuce. So we didn't plan on doing this right now, like I said before, but it's got to be done. Today I am going to make a couple of big batches of my keto pancakes because I have a lot of eggs now, and so I'm going to get those done. And then I've been watching a couple of channels on Facebook that are using a lot of zucchinis, like just amazing recipes with zucchini. So with the fresh eggs and the zucchini that I've got, this will be great. I can put a bunch more meals, keto meals, in the freezer for when I'm busy and don't feel like cooking. So I'm really excited about that too. So I think we'll go out and check for eggs first and then go check on those ugly little babies and the progress of the fence post. Chris is having a really hard time digging the holes for the fence post because the clay is just like concrete. It's been dry, so he's been putting water in them to try and soften the soil so that he can dig it a little bit deeper. And I just thought I'd show you, these are the eggs that I got yesterday. This one was kind of funny. It was, I think it was in the dirt somewhere. I can't even remember where they're being so funny. This is a decent sized one, and then again there's a couple of fairly tiny ones. These are the ones, what I'm doing is putting the ones in the other fridge and then just putting the ones we get from today in a bowl so that I can remember how many I've gotten. So I've got quite a few here. I'm going to use most of these to make a couple of big batches of keto pancakes, and that way I'll have those in the freezer too. So I've got lunches and breakfast and everything covered, because we're going to be super busy. The first thing I'm going to can is I'm going to make some zucchini relish. I like green relish anyway, that's what I usually buy, and that'll be one more item not buying in the grocery store. So that'll work out good. My battery died, so I had to run and get a new one. Anyway, Sadie is outside now. She is absolutely loving having that Rusty the rooster locked up in the chicken run. I think she's going out 100 times a day just to say, nah, you can't get me. Anyway, she seems to be enjoying that. But let's go out. Oh, there, she wants in. She thinks I'm Carlton the doorman. Only people of a certain age will know who that is. She just loves this. Anyway, let's go out and have a look for eggs first and then go check on those ugly little babies out back. Getting pretty excited about them. They're so different. And a friend of ours, it looks like the sale of their house is done and they will be moving to the country. And I already told Amber she's getting chickens for a housewarming present. She's got 4 kids, so having fresh eggs every day would be great for them, especially right away and not having to wait for them. So anyway, let's go outside and have a look around. It is crazy windy today, so I don't know how good the sound is going to be, but Anyway, it's just one of those days. It's either beautiful out or it's like this, gale force winds. So we'll see if anybody's in the maternity ward. Oh my goodness. Look at this. 4 eggs in the first one and 3 in here. Yeehaw. That is just amazing. That's the first time I've checked in the morning and there's 7 eggs. So that's a weird one. Weird shell on it. That is a weird shell. Anyway, 7 eggs. Can't believe it. And it's so funny that they don't use these two. They seem to use the same nesting boxes all the time. And look at the size of that one. There's 4 in one box and 3 in the other. And look at the size of them. They're getting to be... Oops, I hear somebody that sounds plucky. So, that's pretty amazing. I want one of those old-fashioned egg baskets. Not that it matters, but anyway. That is just awesome. So, now, before I go back that way, we'll go look at what Chris is doing. He might even need some help. This is where he's going to put the gate going into the garden. We already had these 4x4s, and so he just had to buy some concrete. And we'll keep the devil chickens out of... They actually found... Oh, look at those devils. They upset the box. We put like what we thought would be like a little nesting box out there for them with straw in it, and they've upset it. Crazy chickens. Holy smokes. They'd rather lay an egg in the dirt, I guess. Anyway, you see, when I had it in between the floor joists in the tiny house, it couldn't be tipped over, so... Anyway, Chris has got the post in this corner, and he's got the post up there in that corner, that one over there, and he's just doing the 2 here, the one in the corner and then the one that will attach the gate. Again, we already had a frame for the gate that I brought from my last place. Again, why throw it away, you know? And we had those 4x4 posts from somewhere, and so he had to get the 2 rolls of wire, and we ended up getting stucco wire. It's sufficient to keep the chickens out of here, and that's really the only goal. These plants, I butchered them again. I think I already showed that, but you can see how bushy they're getting again. They're loaded with tomatoes, even though they're not very big plants. The Romas are always shorter. These ones here are the beefsteak. And of course, because of the prices of everything in the grocery store now, this one here, I think is so strange. Little black tomatoes. I think that's so odd. I didn't know that I was going to get black tomatoes. And look at the tomatoes on this one. Like I said, you couldn't even see the tomatoes before I trimmed these plants the last time. So, and the beans look like they need to be picked again too. Oh my goodness. This is just crazy. And we picked a bunch of squash. I found a recipe online, and it just happens to be, now I can look at a recipe and say, okay, that's a good keto recipe. But you just mix the squash, the baked squash, with garlic, fresh basil, which I have, and then you put Parmesan on top. My goodness, how can you go wrong with Parmesan, fresh basil, and garlic. Holy moly. So, now I'm trying to save myself from walking around in circles all over the place. Look what we have here. It's the smallest window, but it's a window just the same. We got this sheeted in. We just happen to already have 2 sheets of OSB. Some of the most expensive stuff on the planet now. And Chris has been working in here on the electrical. If you look up, he's got the bathroom fan roughed in. Again, like I said, the idea is the vent, it will vent out that stud right there. And then you have to look out where it's going to end up on the door and that sort of thing. So he has a lot of electrical done. That's the wire going to the light over the sink. Wiring all in here. I started to tell a story in a previous video and I lost my train of thought. The last big house that we built, bungalow out near Okotoks, Alberta, paid, you know, top dollar. You're basically quoted for 2 journeyman electricians to wire the house, and we got sent a couple of kids. One, Chris overheard talking, and he had never done a residential home, ever. But you're being charged for a number 1 journeyman when you pay for the electrical. And there were so many issues with that Chris could see. The wires were pulled too tight. They were actually pulled so tight where the staples were that some of them, the staples were almost cutting into the insulation. There were a lot of errors that someone like Chris could spot. So, you know, that's an issue, and I won't go into too much detail, but anybody that knows and has done this before knows what I'm talking about. You're paying top dollar, but you're not getting the work of a top dollar journeyman. So anyway, you can see, anybody that knows anything about wiring, how neat and tidy Chris's is, and there's always a little bit of slack here. The wire isn't pulled too tight, and it's certainly not pulled tight or the staples driven in far enough to cut the insulation. So anyway, I mean, that was a big house and we paid a lot of money to have the wiring done. But Chris and I, we joke that we're both a little OCD. So, you know, between the 2 of us, we're pretty obsessive. Now, he is going to clean all of the sawdust and everything out with the shop vac when he's done, and he's almost done. And then we will take pictures of every joint and everything he's done as far as the plumbing goes. This is the plumbing stack. That's for the air to go outside, so that you don't end up with the air coming back in. So, like smelly air. So yeah, it's looking really good. I think he got all of the other plumbing joints done. Now again, the reason he's doing this like this is because this will be sort of tied in a ponytail. He's got them all named, where they're going to, labeled, so that he knows exactly what's going where. And then the guys will be able to get the spray foam insulation in behind the wood, so that like you can't really tell to look at it, but he's made sure that the wood is not touching the steel anywhere, so the insulation will go. He 45'd this here because he had already nailed them in place, and it was just too difficult to take them off. So he 45'd them, so it's going to be really easy for the guys to get in behind the corners. like way back in the corner there. There. So, and the corner of the C-can, the steel, sort of bumps out on the corners. So that's to make sure, again, you can get in behind these studs. Of course, these ones where it bumps out are no problem, but it's these ones here, you want to make sure that the spray foam gets in behind. And Chris is pretty fussy, so when we did the other tiny house, the one that we're living in now, he actually had the guys redo a bit here and there. Now that one's pretty tight, but that's okay. They can, if they put the spray foam in this way, because it bumps out there, it's gonna come squirting through on this side. Again, you can see it bumps in here and out on the other side, but they should easily be able to get the spray foam. A little tight there, but not the end of the world. So again, you can see how neat and tidy his wiring is, and also the plumbing. Very neat and tidy. All the joints are done. Now this, you can see he had to go and get a whole bunch more joints. I think those ones are 22.5 if I'm not mistaken, and bump it over to here because he was gonna go straight down, but there just happened to be a beam or something in the right there where he was gonna go. So he basically had to go over to here and then go through the floor there and then join back up with the line here. So, like I said, we're gonna use a separate drawing to mark the hot and cold lines and the plumbing, and we will have to mark that on there as well, so that you know exactly where. I mean, you could look underneath and measure in from the outside wall, and you're gonna know, but anyway, we're gonna do that. He's got the wiring for the ceiling lights here. This is a plug. We've put them a little higher than what's normal. And again, this is another thing when you're doing it yourself. We decided to put them all at 24 inches at the top. Most of the time the plugs are down at about a foot. And then this will be for the entry light and kitchen light, I think. So yeah, we've checked and rechecked where to put all of the electrical plugs. These 3 lines here are going to be going through to the other side. He's figured out how many circuits there are in the bedroom, living room, everything. And then the wires up there for the fan and the kitchen sink, the light above the sink. And he has all the wiring in for the pot lights going all the way down the center. And I think I mentioned in a previous video, drop the ceiling, obviously, because that box for the bathroom fan would not fit up in the 2x4. So we did the same thing in the current one, dropped the ceiling a bit. You would never ever notice unless I told you, because again, that's why you buy a high boy. So you've got that extra ceiling height to work with, 2x6 on the floor, 2x4 on the ceiling, and then drop the ceiling in the bathroom to allow for this. And with these pot lights, these little LED pot lights we're using, you don't need a drop ceiling for those because they don't take up any space at all. So, very exciting. Very, well, the eggs are very exciting. And, whoops, walking on these skids again with Birkenstocks on. So you can see from the outside, this is the end that has the framed wall, bathroom window. And then this one here, the end of this one will have my bedroom in it, so the bedroom window will be in the framed wall in the end of that one. So, very exciting. My bell pepper plants in the greenhouse are sprouting all kinds of blossoms, so I'm going to have bell peppers pretty soon. I had to go buy bell peppers to make my zucchini relish, unfortunately. Bees. I hate them. So yeah, you can see actually these blossoms were curled up yesterday and now they're popping out. So blossoms everywhere in here. Gonna pick some more of these and dry these. The zucchini relish that I'm gonna make actually has, it's a hot zucchini relish, which normally I don't make hot stuff, but Chris likes stuff with a little bit of heat in it. I'm just gonna water some of these plants while I'm talking because I don't want to lose. My basil is going all to seed again. I keep doing it over and over again while I'm here. You can see all the new growth on this one Haskap plant. This one's not as healthy looking, but this one here has all kinds of new growth on it. My thyme is doing just awesome, but it's really this little pepper plant that I'm worried about, so I'll just give it. And again, this is that little apple tree. I just can't believe this thing. And these are getting really dry again, so I'm going to have to come back and do some more watering in here. So, and of course everything's kind of happening at once. You know, that's typical. You know, all the stuff in the garden needs to be either canned or blanched or something. I watered the herbs a few days ago, and again, look at the seeds on them. Just crazy. Gotta get this done again. But I will be picking some of this basil to use in some of those zucchini recipes anyway. The apple trees, like I said, again, only one tree with apples on it. Anybody can help me out there. I don't know. These ones are getting pretty big, but it looks like something. I don't know if it's maybe the birds pecking at them. That'll make me cranky. There's one there. One here. There were about 10 apples on here, and I don't see that many now. So, oh yeah, there's one on the ground. Might be the birds. Yeah. But might be next year before I got a lot of fruit on these. And like I said, I don't know if it was because of the late frost. I totally whacked one of my blueberry plants off, but it did get some new leaves right away. Did that by mistake, and I think I'm gonna put the gooseberry, or not the gooseberries, the Haskaps out here by the blueberries. Some of the raspberries that I whacked off are coming up too. Not doing too good there. The chickens all run away when I come to see them, but hey chickens! Yeah, ugly little things. Come here, chicken, chicken, chicken. Chris just moved the chicken tractor again, so they are very curious. So as long as I think when I squat down, they're happier. I don't seem as threatening. There's a little brown guy. I don't know if he's the one that comes to me. One day I closed his little foot in the door by mistake, and I was so upset. He was so upset too, but it didn't seem to. He stopped limping and holding it up after just a couple of minutes. So you guys are so ugly. Yes, you are. You're so ugly. Look at you. My goodness. That is a face only a mother could love. Yes. Now those black and white ones, I just watched a show this morning that said what they were, and they're not buffs, they're something else. And this black one with the brown feathers on the neck, I don't know what that is. But you can see this guy here, he's already getting a pretty big crop on him. So he might be a rooster, and I did want a rooster like that. It's looking like most of these are hens, which again, everybody wants mostly hens, and we got so lucky with the current ones. We got 25 hens and one rooster out of the whole bunch. That's what everybody wants, and that's not what everybody gets. The girl at the lumberyard said her parents got, I don't know, 16 chickens or something, and 13 were roosters, so they weren't very happy. What do you think, Ugly? You are curious, and you are ugly as sin. That white one there is really big, and it doesn't seem to have a very big crop on it, so it's probably a laying hen. And of course, we would have preferred more roosters because they tend to be bigger, and if you're going to use them for meat, of course you want the bigger ones. But either way, they'll be plenty big enough for us. Most of the chickens, like often we get 2 meals out of a chicken. The Cornish Giants, we're getting like 3 meals easy out of a chicken, sometimes 4, depending on what we do with it. So anyway, you can see how they're sitting over there in the grass. They're very content. So that's nice. And this little brown one, I don't know if he's the one that, you know, he's always, Chris said he notices it too. The brown one always comes to us, and I feel so bad that he wanted to be close to me and I closed his little foot in the door by mistake, and that was so upsetting to me. Yes, I hope it wasn't your little foot, but you've obviously forgiven me if you're coming this close. Chris did put a little bit of a tarp on the other side there because we had such crazy winds a few days ago, and gives them a little bit more shelter from the wind. The winds that come from this direction, they are just crazy. Look at that guy lounging in this sun over there. Oh, and one lounging in the feet. There are 2 of them lounging in the feeder. For Pete's sake, guys. And one perching on there. I was thinking Chris should maybe make a different feeder so that it didn't seem like it's a perch for them. Like, seriously. Just encouraging them to perch there and poop in the food. Because they will just poop on everything. There's one white one here. Well, there might be 2 or 3. Well, that one there, his back is sort of puffed out. I don't know. I never noticed that before. That's very strange. Unless it's just because he's perching. Like I said, this is that one over there. That big one with the black on his neck. The white with the black feathers on his neck. He's different. I think that's the one. Nope, it's that one over there. It's got way more black on it. White with way more black. So I don't know if he's different than the other ones or not. Yeah. And I wanted a couple of these black and white ones anyway. So, and the black and brown, I have no idea what they are. And Chris put some little perches in here too. You can see this little guy's on the perch there. Are you my little ugly friend? Are you my little ugly friend? Hey? What do you think? Hey? You are an ugly little thing. Yeah. There's a little brown one over there too. This grass is so nice and long. And there are a lot of grasshoppers right now. And the big chickens, they just eat them one gulp, like whole, down the hatch. So, Bob and Rita we noticed when we were up there were so many grasshoppers, and I said, I think we need to bring our chickens up here, because we don't notice them so much down here, but the chickens, of course, now that they're running around free, most of the time, not today, must be eating a lot of grasshoppers. So you can see how big this one has gotten again. It's really hard again to see. You can see how bushy this has gotten here, which is nice. Terrible thistles in here. And then these ones have bushed out quite a bit. So again, you know, these things, they're planted so small. It's kind of like a for next year thing. Again, these trees have leafed out really thick now, even though I didn't get fruit off them this year. But I mean, the trees are so healthy, so that's really good. Oh, another thing too, the electrician did come. The Generac is wired in and done. So that's exciting. Chris stole the propane tank from my bedroom heater to try and get it working, and then he will run a line from this to the big tanks that everything is running off of, and then that one will go back to be used for my bedroom. So lots of progress, really exciting. And like just looking at that and seeing a framed wall with a window in it was exciting to me. Really, he's almost done the plumbing and electrical rough in, so it will be spray foam insulation next, and that's really exciting too. And then that pile under the tarp there is my tongue and groove wood, so really awesome getting that done, you know, while the weather is still nice. And once that spray foam is in, the window and door can go in. So anyway, I am going to go in and make my pancakes now, and come and see how Chris is making it with the fence a little later. So now what I'm doing basically is taking the eggs from yesterday and adding them to the previous 2 or 3 days' eggs. Now my recipe says medium eggs. I've always used large, so basically I'm just using 2 of these eggs for each egg in the recipe. So if I'm making a quadruple batch, which means 8 eggs, so I will use 16 of these eggs, and I'm going to make 2 of those quadruple batches. So I will go through these really quickly, and that's the thing, like I said, with keto. This would be way too many eggs. Now that's a pretty nice sized egg. I would say that's close to a large. And I don't have any store-bought ones left to compare it to, but those 3 there you can see are pretty big. That one's little. This one here is a decent size, probably medium. This is the one with the really funny shell, so it'll be interesting to see what that looks like inside. If you see really strange shells, it's usually something wrong. So maybe the chickens need something added to their feed or something. So 2, 4, 6, 7, and like I said, that one down there is a really good size when you compare to most of the eggs that we're getting. So I have my favorite little frying pan here. I like this one because well, because it's Le Creuset, and I'm a Le Creuset lunatic. But I put 1/4 cup of the pancake batter in here, and then a serving is 3 little pancakes, so it just works out perfectly. I just keep cooking them in here. I stack them up and put parchment paper in between 3. I layer them in 3s, so I just take out a little frozen thing of pancakes, 3 pancakes, and either put it in the toaster oven or the oven to reheat, and I have breakfast, and it's really quick, and I just love them. So gonna get on with that, and we'll check in later to see if there's any more eggs in the laying boxes. Another thing I did, because I'm running out of kombucha now because I'm drinking so much more of it, is I cleaned the pickle. I took the pickles out of this big jar because we already had the pickles, and buying the pickles is cheaper than just buying a jar. It's crazy. So Chris likes the garlic dill pickles, so we bought a big jar. Now I have the jar so I can divide my SCOBY out and put half of it in this jar and make 2 jars of kombucha every week because I'm running out so quickly. So that's gonna be good. And there is 1 shot of gin left in my beloved prickly pear gin from Eau Claire Distillery. My goodness, if you people haven't tried this yet, you need to. Chris actually preferred the Saskatoon berry gin, but I have 3 more bottles of this. I bought 2 cases. I liked it so much. And I actually lost 2 bottles because I put maple syrup in them, and I gave a bottle of maple syrup to each of the kids when we went down to Calgary last. So I need more of those bottles, and I'm going to go to the Italian market, I think, when I go to Edmonton next, because they have a chocolate milk that's in an old-fashioned glass bottle. And again, it's the bottle I'm after. Oh, the other thing, I want to start making ginger beer because it's really good for you too. So Rita told me that Friesen's in Edmonton has lemonade in the the flip top bottles, and it's again cheaper just to go buy lemonade and to get the bottles. So that's what I'm going to do. And start making ginger beer as well as the kombucha. And again, the more I'm drinking this stuff, the less I'm drinking the poison. So really excited about having another jar to make a bigger batch of kombucha. Another thing about using these fresh eggs is this batter is normally the color of this dish. I use almond flour and store-bought eggs normally, so this is the color now that I'm using the fresh eggs, and the yolks are more like this color. So the batter is actually orange now, and the omelets, everything is orange, because normally the pancake mix would have been about this color. That's how much richer this is with the fresh egg yolks. Well, I've got my pancakes made. I'm doing the dishes, mountain of dishes. Got a bunch of more frozen vegetables off the cookie sheets and in the freezer. And I just can't help myself. I have to go check for eggs again. So I'm going to do that now. I might end up needing a nap. I'm pretty tired. I've had sleep problems my whole life, and I didn't sleep that good again last night. Chris is already napping, but he worked pretty hard digging the holes for those posts. Holy smokes, and mixing the concrete in the garden cart. But he's got the posts all level and concreted in. You can look down the line and see they're pretty darn level. There's Rusty, all ticked off because he isn't getting out, fluffing his feathers up again because he wants to take a run at me. Rusty's gonna be going in the freezer if that behavior doesn't stop. There's one in the favorite box, the right-hand one. So I'm just gonna leave her. There's no eggs in the other ones, but it'd be funny if there was another 3 or 4 in that one box. I still don't understand this whole, like it makes me think of, you know, lining up at the bathroom stalls at the Stampede. All the women lined up out the doors, and I just don't understand why 4 of them would line up to go in one box and lay an egg when there's 2 boxes empty. If anybody can explain that one to me, that'd be awesome. So I'm gonna leave her alone for now and go back in and finish the dishes. I got some important phone calls to make, and this wind is just crazy today. Well, help myself, I had to come back. The chicken was in here, so I was surprised there wasn't an egg in there. That seems to be the most popular spot, but we've got another one here. And this is a big one. That's easily a large egg. And there's a hen in there walking around. Trying to do this with one hand. Rusty's making a lot of noise again. Well, all the hens are, because they are not happy about being stuck inside there. I'm just gonna have a look inside and see if there are any eggs on the floors, since they have done that. So I think this is 9 for today again. So that's exciting. It's like one day of 7 and then 2 of 8 and then 2 of 9 so far. But this, I think, is by far the biggest egg I have seen them lay. Yeah, you're not very happy being penned up, are you? But you gotta stop eating my garden. Bad chickens. Oh, I see another one over there. 2! Oh my goodness. I gotta get my bee swatter because Rusty keeps rushing at me. He's cranky. Look at the size of that one. And there's 2 more on the ground in there. So that's like, that would make 11 today. Oh, I'm so excited. No, you guys aren't coming out. No. Go on. Nope, you're bad chickens. Come on, out of the way. You never mind, Rusty. You'll be going in the freezer and you'll be a nice big chicken in the freezer. So this is the box that we set up to try and make a little nesting. Oh my goodness, I'm trying to climb over. Okay, so this is where they laid one right in the corner there the other day. Now there's one here. I guess that plan didn't work very well because they upset it. So this is 2 more eggs on the ground in here in the straw. I know you guys are cranky, but I'm actually having to put these eggs in my pocket because this one wants to peck my toes. Come on, guys, out of the way. Never mind, Rusty. Hey, go on. Cranky old thing. Yeah, they're not too happy about being kept in here because they've had run of the place now. No, you're not coming out. You gotta stay in because you've been bad chickens eating my garden. They're not very happy. But I am. Thank you, girls. Good girls. I wish I knew who was laying the eggs. Gotta figure out who stays and who goes. Maybe just let them out and whoever goes in the garden first. Oh, I'm forgetting 2. I've got 2 in my pocket. And I forgot the 2 here. That is huge compared to the other ones. Huge. Ah! It's got a bee on it. Oh my goodness. Look at my bee trap. It's full of wasps and hornets. I didn't think they were working at all, but they are now. So, the soft buckets. I didn't bring the bucket because I didn't think I was going to get that many. Holy smokes. I'm so excited. My goodness. Yeah, my bee traps are working now, which is... My bee traps are working, but they're still buzzing around my head all the time. Oh my goodness. Let me just pause this TV that's blabbing. There's the remote.
That reminds me of this cold weather.
Some other homesteaders we like to watch.
Back when I was in high school, we went.
Push. Dear. Get my today's egg bowl out. I didn't actually have enough to make a big, well, I didn't make 2 quadruple batches of pancakes because I wanted to leave some eggs in case I needed them for that zucchini recipe. So you can see I've got this funny one and it actually looks like it's cracked there, so I won't use that one. I might take a picture of it and show the girls at the farm center. So these are the ones that were in the ground. So they are getting bigger. Whoever's the first layer, I guess, is making bigger ones. So I'm just going to lay these out. This is just today's eggs. So there's still some little ones. Cute little ones. This one's huge compared to those 2 there are really big. That one's, I think, maybe a medium. I don't know. I never buy medium eggs. This is so cute. It's just a little teeny one. And then this is the goofy one, and it's, like I say, it's cracked a bit there, so I definitely won't eat that one. But so 2, 4, 5 of them are really good size, and 2, 4, 6 little ones. 11 eggs in one day. Why, I could just pee my pants. I did say it doesn't take much to get me excited, right? This is exciting. 11 eggs. First day, 11 eggs. Yesterday was 9. And today is 11. Now, this could also be further proof that I'm right, that they were indeed laying them under the sea can and all over the place, because now that they're locked in the pen, they've been in there 2 or 3 days, and all of a sudden we have more eggs. Could be further proof that I'm right. Anyway, maybe we'll just keep them in there for a few more days and see how things go. Get them used to nesting and laying eggs in the nesting boxes. But this is an awesome day. I'm so happy. I'll go through those recipes tonight and decide which ones I want to make, and see what I can do with these eggs and the zucchini. Now, once I get my new kitchen set up, I will probably end up setting up the tripod when I'm cooking and when I'm making different recipes, especially with that wood burning cook stove. There might be a learning curve, I'm not really sure, but I'm really excited about that stove too. And the little convection version of the stove, the unique off-grid range. Really excited. Well, I just checked again and no more eggs, but 11 today. That makes me happy. I'm losing a couple because they obviously stepped on one and broke it, and then that one has the goofy shell. But I was also just out in the greenhouse watering the plants out there. I keep forgetting. And the pepper plant, the cayenne pepper plant, I didn't realize had so many red peppers on it. I was waiting to pick these, and I picked some green ones by mistake. So I'm just going to add those to the ones I'm drying here. I'll let those dry out too. I'm going to have like mountains of those things as well. And I did see one guy on the channel, and he had hung them like sort of on a wire or something and had them all dried to use when he wanted, like dried herbs kind of thing. So anyway, the bell pepper plant has but the blossoms all popped open now. So I should have peppers fairly soon, which would be really exciting. I'm actually thinking about getting 6mm poly and gluing it to the inside of that frame, so it's sort of like a double wall. They call it a double wall, but that thing's just, like I say, it's just a terrible joke. It was an expensive joke on me. But if I glue 6mm poly to the inside, so it sort of has like an inch spacing, I'm hoping it might help me keep stuff alive out there, the herbs and things. And then if I don't put them on the ground like I did last year, either have them on skids or in those big barrels, or on a table. I'm not sure yet. But I'm kind of thinking if I have time in the fall before it gets really cold, do that and see if I have a better chance of keeping stuff alive out there over the winter. Like I said, the strawberries survived, and that little shoot of a tree, the Gloria apple tree, survived, but barely. But it'd be nice to keep like a couple of tomato plants, a pepper plant, you know, a couple of things alive out there, and the herbs, of course. So we'll see. I might try it. It doesn't hurt to try. It's a little bit of plastic and a little bit of glue. So I might try that. But other than that, it's been a pretty exciting day. We found this little tiny zucchini hiding in the zucchini plant when we went out to cut some squash for the chickens, the bad chickens. We basically cut more of the ones that they had already pecked and ruined, because they are still locked in the run. Chris is out there working on the posts. They're cemented in, so maybe get the wire strung tomorrow, and then we could let them back out. But otherwise the little devils are staying locked up until that fence is done. So anyway, it was a really good day. Pretty exciting. I know it's getting old, but it really is to me. So get another dozen tomorrow maybe, and get going on these zucchini recipes that call for so many eggs. That's going to be fun. I'm just going through my the YouTube channel that I found that's making so many different recipes, really cool recipes out of zucchini, and maybe try a couple of those in the next couple days. But I have to get my zucchini relish made first. Anyhow, thanks for following, guys. Like and subscribe, hit that notification bell, and share this video with your family and friends. And we'll see you next time.